What's up, YouTube? PokePrimer here, Primer Base to deliver you week number 7 of the UPA Showdown Division here on the channel. This week we are taking on the KingKomala 13 and his Vegas Golden Komala. This is going to be a fun matchup, and you can see his team is full of threats. He has the Galarian Darmanitan, he's got Jirachi, Latios, Mega Gardevoir, Terrakion, Buzzwole, Melodic, Magmortar, Morgrem, Cutiefly, and Quilladin. So, definitely very top-heavy. I will say that much. His team is incredibly top-heavy. Like, these first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like, these first, like, 6, 7 mons are, like, the glue. This is what makes his team. But these things are still problematic. Like Cutiefly, Cutiefly's got the potential for webs. He's got the prankster nonsense with Morgrem. Quilladin doesn't do shit, but it's Quilladin. It's whatever. Quilladin has spikes? Bruh. What? What? He technically does have 2 defoggers, but I don't count Cutiefly as a defogger. I'm just going to put that out there. Latios is pretty much his only defogger, so that's going to be something interesting to note. A lot of cleric potential here. A lot of cleric potential. I don't like that. Priority-wise stuff, but overall, nothing too crazy. They've added a lot more to this website, taunt users and stuff like that. They've added a lot more to this website. Very cool, very cool. Alright, well, anyways. Yeah, that's his team. It's pretty scary, but hopefully the team that we have designed to face it will be able to beat it. And that team starts with Kaoru, the Mega Mawile. This Mega Mawile is max HP, 28 attack, and 228 SPDF with a careful nature. That 228 SPDF, Oh, the 228 SPDF actually makes it so that a Scald from a Melodic does not break our substitute. So basically, our goal is to force something out, come in on something, force it out, get a sub up, and then be able to just do damage. Like, if we get a sub up, we're going to be able to mess a lot of things up on his team. His entirety of like the top, his top 6 mons, the Darm, Jirachi, Latios, Mega Gardevoir, Terrakion, Buzzwole. I can OHKO all of them with something, or at least come close with something. So like Jirachi, Sucker Punch does stupid damage too. And that's kind of the big deal about getting behind the sub. Because if I can get behind the sub, it forces the Jirachi to excuse me. It forces the Jirachi to attack me, which allows me to just kind of fire off Sucker Punch for free, which I think is really nice. Latios gets nuked by Player Off. Gardevoir, Terrakion both get nuked by Iron Head, same as Darm. Buzzwole gets nuked by Player Off. Like, all of his biggest threats, if I can get behind a sub, I just destroy them. Which is really nice. So, and I get guaranteed 2 hits off on Melodic behind the sub anyway. Because, like, I sub up, he goes into Melodic, and then when I'm sitting behind the sub, he can't break the sub with his first Scald. I get a hit off, and then I get to hit him again as he breaks it with the second one. So, it's a really nice situation to have, and I can also like play around the Melodic a lot. Yeah. Other mons that can't really break our sub include Morgrem as well, and Cutiefly. Neither of them can touch the sub, so if they exist, I can sub in front of those as well, which is very nice. Quilladin, I don't know what Quilladin can do. It could probably break the sub. I think it probably has a ground type move. or something that it could break the sub with, but I'm not particularly like worried about Quilladin. I don't feel like I should be worried about Quilladin, but who knows, I guess. But yeah, so that's our boy. And girl, make him a relay. Make sure you're actually a female. Should probably put the genders on these things to represent their characters appropriately. And then I gotta make you a regular relay with Intimidate. Yes. Next up we have Megumi, the Komala, with Wish, Rapid Spin, Knockoff, U-Turn. Basically, you just want to be able to Wish Pass with this thing. That's pretty much like the main goal. Get the wishes up, pass them around. My team could very much use them. Mawile especially will appreciate them since I'm going to be trying to set up subs a bunch. Appreciate getting those subs, get that HP back. Rapid Spin, because looking at this team, specifically because of the Cutie Fly, that's going to be the main thing. If he does bring the Cutie Fly to set up the webs, I do not want those webs there for any more than like 2 to 3 turns at max. He does not have a ghost type, so I can literally just click Rapid Spin and not think if anytime Komala hits the field. We have the leftovers. I just kind of decided I didn't want to run boots. I didn't really feel like it was necessary because I don't like. I'm not going to spin against something that can kill me, so I don't need the extra little bit HP from like coming in on rocks or whatever. And I have a shit ton of spin F, so I can also spin on a lot of his special attackers. Like I can still spin. I live any one hit from like Make a Gardevoir, Latios. I can spin on them pretty well. I can spin on Melodic. I can spin on Morgrem pretty much because he can't really do much to me anyway. For the most part, that's pretty much the plan. And then I have the knockoff. Knockoff is like... Knockoff's just a good move. If I can get a knockoff off on something, that'd be great. Obviously, I'm going to be more careful if Terrakion is there, because I do not want to hit Terrakion with a knockoff at all. Because that just kind of spells, I'm fucked. To me, that's what that spells. I'm fucked. So yeah, that's and then U-turn just for momentum. And that's our Komala. Next up we have Gine, the Suicune, with the Rocky Helmet, fully physically defensive, pressure set, Scald, Air Slash, Rest, Sleep Talk. I just don't think it really matters if I have even or odd HP, because I'm going to be resting anyway. Basically, this thing is just here to kind of like chip things down and rest off the damage. That's it. And this thing's also very important in dealing with the Darm and dealing with the Jirachi if it's a physical set. God forbid if it's not a physical set. I have a plan this time for once. Not like in PRD earlier this season. I am not going to make that same mistake. Thankfully. So I got a plan to deal with it. It's not on Gine, but I have a plan. This thing's important for dealing with Terrakion because I can live a hit at +2. This helps us deal with Buzzball because we have the Air Slash. We're in a good spot with this mon. This mon allows us to do a lot of good things. So really, really hoping that so we can put in some work here. Yeah, Scald and Air Slash pretty much hit his whole team across the board. No real issues there. And then potential burns from Scald or flinches on the slower things from Air Slash. That would be great. Great stuff. Pretty straightforward. Not much to say about this Suicune. It does what it does, and it'll do what it needs to do. Next up, we have Aoshi, the Mamoswine, with near max speed, because we were speed creeping Buzzball, and there's literally no reason for me to. But there's no reason for me to run that extra 4 EVs, so we'll just keep it like that. Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Ice Shard, and Knockoff with the Focus Sash and Oblivious. So my thing here is with the fact that he has only one Defogger I'm ignoring Pewdiefly. The fact that he only has one defogger, to me, makes me want to have rocks no matter what. So I'm going to lead Mamoswine, and I'm going to set up rocks. It's as simple as it gets. I'm going to lead Mamoswine and try to set up rocks. Depending on what he leads with, I might be able to pull that off, and depending on what he leads with, I might not be able to pull that off. We'll find out. But regardless, at the end of the day, I'm going to be trying to get rocks up with my Mamoswine at some point in time in the matchup. So, and once I get those rocks up, we're in a good spot. We're in a comfortable position. Because then we'll be able to really chip his team down. Everything will be getting chip damage. And specifically, the Darmanitan. Because I don't see him being Boots. Darmanitan. He's going to be a choice set. More than likely. Against our team, I could very well see him being a choice Scarfed. Because it guarantees he outspeeds 95% of my team. And the only things that he wouldn't normally outspeed without being Scarfed would be Salamence, which he'd like to outspeed Salamence to kill it. Espeon and Zarude, which I'm sure he would appreciate being able to outspeed and kill. So this way we can get that extra 25% on the Darm on its switch-ins and just all that good stuff. And yeah, it's very much important for us to get rocks up in this match, and that is what Aoshi's here for. Next up we have Misao, the Espeon with the leftovers. Magic Bounce ability. Psychic, Shadow Ball, Calm Mind, and Psych Up. So, 2 different modes for this Celebi can go. Either we can set up our own Calm Minds. That's always fun. Or we can steal the Jirachis. So, like, obviously, like, Suicune is here to deal with, like, a physical Jirachi, because we resist the Iron Heads and whatnot. We come in on that. We let it take the Rocky Helmet chip. We can rest, sleep, talk that shit off. We don't care. That's the point of Suicune. However, if it's a special Jirachi like we experienced in PRD, where it just sets up Calm Minds or Cosmic Powers or whichever one it set up against us, this time we have Espeon as the special Rachi response. This thing comes in on special Rachi, and it clicks Psych Up after it's set up for a little bit. Like, obviously, I would probably let it set up for a couple turns, or a turn or two, and then go into Espeon, because we still take a hit. And then we can Psych Up on it, and steal all of its boosts, and then boost up alongside it with Calm Minds and stuff. Especially if it's Cosmic Power. You boost up with Calm Minds alongside it, and we have the Shadow Ball, which will take it out, which can absolutely take it out. We can 1v1 it. And then once we're boosted up to hell, we're faster than everything on his team. Well, with speed tie with the Latios, but we're pretty much faster than everything else on his team. And once we're set up to the max, nothing but a really hard-hitting physical Scarfer, either like a Scarf Terrakion or Scarf Buzzwole, will be able to take this thing out, because it's just that strong. It will rip his whole team apart. So, I kind of hope that he's a special Jirachi so that I can utilize this set and completely beat him with it. That would be great. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Hopefully that is the case, though, because that would be really fun. Hopefully he's Cosmic Power, so that we can get all those physical defense boosts going. Let him boost up his Phys-Def as much as possible, so that we can just, like, stare a max attack Scarf Buzzwole in the face, eat a Leech Life, and kill him with a Psychic afterwards. That'd be really funny. So, if this Espeon set works, if he brings Special Rachi and this Espeon set works, we win. Plain and simple, we win. Obviously, this is, like, crits involved, of course, but you can't always fear the crit. I typically fear the crit, but you can't always fear the crit. So, that's our Espeon. And last but not least, we have Shishio, the Xurkitree. One with a Choice Scarf Xurkitree, because look at his team. Do you see a Ground type? I don't. Do you see an Electric Immunity? I don't. So why would I not run Modest Choice Scarf Xurkitree? The speed is there for... Speed is there to allow us to outpace, I believe it lets us speed tie? Or outpace Latios, so we're not outpacing any Scarfers. Obviously, we can't, but we outpace max speed Latios. And that's his whole team. So we have Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Dazzling Gleam, Discharge. Yeah, it's this thing is really good against his team. We can Volt Switch for free any turn we're on the field, which is great because that's going to be big damage on everything. His resists still don't appreciate it, and his resists include Quilladin, which is an Unmon, and Latios, which we have Dazzling Gleam for if the situation arises, which we also have other ways of dealing with Latios, so I'm not worried about it. But yeah, Xurkitree hits everything on his team stupid hard. I have Thunderbolt and Discharge, mostly because, part of me earlier on will probably click Discharge more often than Thunderbolt. I actually added this Discharge last, but I figure it's going to be more useful because even if he's switching in Latios on this, the 30% chance to para the Latios makes things even easier for me to deal with it. So I'm going to try to go for it if I can. I can try to get the paras on things as many things as possible if I can, and then use Thunderbolt later in the game if I've got enough paras or not, or if I just need the extra oomph. If I need the extra couple points of damage, I'll go for the Thunderbolt instead. It really just depends on the situation and the timing of it all, but I definitely think that Xurkitree can just win as well. I literally need Latios gone, and then I can just spam Thunderbolt and just win the game. So that's pretty much what I'm going for. Yeah, that's our team. And without further ado, let's hop right into the battle. Alright guys, we are here now for our Week 7 battle in the UPA against KingKomala 13 and his lovely Vegas Golden Komalas. You can see, you just watched our team builder, so you know why we brought what we brought. His team consists of the Terrakion, Galarian Darmanitan, Melodic, Magmortar, Buzzwole, and Latios. So, a couple things of note that I think are important here. Let me actually pull up the UPA thing so that I can show y'all explain to y'all what I'm talking about. Alright, so a couple interesting things. One, no Jirachi, so looked good and bad because obviously the Psych Up strat with Espeon completely useless. There's no way that it's going to come into play here. I highly doubt it will come into play here. So it's unfortunate that piece of prep will not come into fruition, but it is what it is. No Mega Gardevoir, which I am stoked about because Mega Gardevoir with Mystical Fire and stuff is actually a really big pain in the ass for my team. If you look at the team that I brought, I don't really have a Hyper Voice switch in besides Mawile, and Mawile just gets obliterated by Mystical Fire. Obviously I can still take it because I'm really Spadef, but even still, it doesn't appreciate it. And if he catches me on the switch in with the Mystical Fire, I'm fucked. Which, it's a very easy switch in to catch me on, to be fair. Because I don't have anything else to switch into that thing. So that would be really shit. Terrakion can be a massive threat. I wasn't sure what Terrakion was going to be. When I saw the team, I wasn't sure what it was going to be. Obviously I predicted this thing would be Scarfed. Just always bulky. Not maybe bulky for Mawile. I wasn't sure what Magmortar was going to do.
Buzzwole is just bulky offense always. That's what else do you do with a Buzzwole? And then Latios, maybe Calm Mind. Calm Mind. I don't know if it gets nasty a lot. I thought it would be a setup Latios, based on the team composition. I didn't think it would be specs or anything like that. That just didn't make sense. Because why would you be specs Latios when there's a Mawile right here? You need to be able to switch up moves. Other omissions from the team. The other 3 mons that did not come were Morgrem, Cutiefly, and Quilladin. And honestly, they're all unmons. Cutiefly not coming means no webs, which is nice. Morgrem not coming means no prankster annoyances, which is fine, because realistically, I wasn't worried about that in the first place. And then Quilladin not coming means no spikes for him, which is cool, I guess. So, yeah. Otherwise, I really like his team. I'm stressed about his team. So hopefully our prep will work, and we'll be able to pick up the W here. But let's hop in and see if we did. So he's going to lead with the Melodic as I lead with Suicune. So in the ultimate standoff of the dual water types, I go into Komala, and as I was predicting like a Toxic or something. So I was like, all right, you could probably try to Toxic my Suicune. I'll just go into Komala. Komala can't be Toxic. That's fine. He flip turns out. Which I forgot that Melodic got flip turn, which I think is great, though, by the way. I'm super excited about flip turn Melodic. And he goes into Darm, and I'm immediately like, fuck, I go into Suicune. Suicune's my immediate check to this, and he's sub. So I'm immediately like, okay, no Gorilla Tactics. That's baller. That's so dope. No Gorilla Tactics. That makes me a little bit happier. He's Zen mode. Sub. I break his sub with the Scald, and he gets the Focus Punch off, and I am Rocky Helmet. So he's immediately like, oh shit, that did nothing. I Scald again as he goes into Buzzwole. I'm going to rest. I was expecting him to be like a Scarf Buzzwole, based on how he brought it in. But then he gets the Close Combat off, takes the Rocky Helmet damage, and switches out. I go for the Sleep Talk here, and I get the rest, which sucks. The reason why that sucks too, thankfully he switched out. The reason why that sucks too is if he just stayed in and kept going for it, he would have potentially been able to kill me before I got Air Slash. Plus, I also found out after the match he was Cobra Berry, so he would have tanked the Air Slash too, so he would have potentially been able to beat my Coon. But I got the Air Slash off through the Sleep Talk and flinched the Melodic. I did not get the flinch this turn as he goes for the flip turn, but due to the fact that he was burned, flip turn did 2%, and he took the Rocky Helmet chip, so he is indeed Calm Mind Latios as I go into my Mega Mawile, and I debated between Sucker and Play Rough for a little bit there, but then I ran the calcs and I was like, this thing can't kill me no matter what, and Sucker's risky because if he gets another Calm Mind up, then this becomes incredibly terrifying. So I go for the Play Rough instead over the Sucker Punch. It actually turns out, I'm really glad I made this decision because when we exchanged teams after the match, he turned out to be Cobra Berry, so if I'd gone for the Sucker Punch, he would have lived and then been able to beat my Mawile, which is really, really, really bad. Well, okay, he would have lived the first Sucker Punch, still gotten off the Mystical Fire, I still would have lived, but then it would have come down to, the Sucker Punch mind games of, alright, I'm going to click Sucker Punch, but will he click Calm Mind? Yada, yada, yada. But I click Play Rough here, and I just got to land it, and I do, and down goes Latios. So, yeah, boy. Magmortar comes out. I'm just I know this thing's going to take a hit. I don't really have anything that wants to come in cleanly on this. So I just accept that it's the death, and I Sucker Punched it. Got the Flame Body, but doesn't matter. He hits a Focus Blast on me, which is rude. So I go for the Stealth Rocks here, because his Latios is only defogger there. So I get the Stealth Rocks up. I was like, alright, bet. This is going to be nice. This is going to be great for me. He hits a Focus Blast, which kind of sucks. And I was like, alright, cool. But I had the Sash. I can just go for Earthquake here. He brought the Mach Punch, which is really good prep on his part. I actually really liked that. I was like, alright, bet. That's fair. So I go into the Espeon. I go for a Calm Mind here. I don't want to take under. I needed the Calm Mind to make sure I could KO because he was at least max HP. So I wanted to make sure that I could kill him. The way he went into Terrakion very fast, by the way. Like, watching it in this speed does not show you how fast he went into this thing. Like Magmortar dropped. You didn't even get the first shovel of dirt over his fucking coffin before Terrakion was out on the field. Like, alright, bet. I'm out here ready to go. So he came in, and I was like, alright, you're scarfed. He Stone Edges as I go into Komala. Does a shit fuck ton of damage. I was basically sacking Komala at this point. He switches as I'm able to get a Wish up. And that is potentially important because now I can go into my Suicune as he roosts, and my Suicune's back at full. My physically defensive Rocky Helmet Suicune is back at full. And obviously, like, hindsight 2020, he had the Koba Berry, so like he wasn't fearing the Air Slash, but even still, I was expecting him to go hard melodic there, so I could get in my Modest Choice Scarf Circuitry and just kill something. However, he just goes for the close combat, which really sucks. But I'm gonna go for the Volt Switch here. That crit did not matter. I counted it. I was Modest Choice Scarf. Stab, Volt Switch, I was going to kill him. So he goes into Darm here. He tries to go for the sub. So I guess he could pop his... well, he should have already popped his Zen mode, but I guess it only goes at the end of the turn. So I'm just going to double Scald and take out the Zen mode Darm. I go hard Komala here as he recovers with the Melodic. And I'm like, alright, I'm literally trying to sack this Komala. Will you just die? He flip turns and I don't die. So I get the Wish off, which is crazy. And then I'm just going to go hard Suicune again, because I have no reason not to. He misses the Stone Edge, which doesn't really matter. Even a crit Stone Edge would have done only 49% max. I made sure I could live 2 crit Stone Edges from a Terrakion, so I would have still tanked it and got the Wish back. I'm going to fire off the Scald here. This man basically just clicked buttons against Suicune because he knew I'd be doubling out a bunch with Suicune. Because I would be assuming Suicune would force switches. We talked about it after the game. He just, like, if Suicune came in against something, he just kind of clicked the buttons against it because I seem like the kind of person who makes a lot of doubles to try to catch things, and he was right. And he made, like, on paper, it looks crazy. On paper, it looks nuts. However, the 2 times it happened between Buzzwole clicking close combat and catching my Circuitry on the switch in, and then the Terrakion clicking Stone Edge again in front of my Suicune, like, it makes sense. It makes sense based upon what's going on and what mons he had left. Like, realistically, why would I not double into Circuitry predicting the Melodic to come in on my Suicune, right? Why would I not predict that? Like, I just want to make sure that, like, I justified his play, because in the moment it didn't make sense, but then, like, talking to him afterwards, like, alright, no, I completely see where you're coming from. Like, that is legit. I just want to make sure that that's very clear. I don't blame him for Stone Edging. That was smart. He got rid of my Circuitry. Because, honestly, Circuitry would have been great against his Melodic, but that's fine. I just gotta beat it another way. He Scalds here, and that does way more than it should. Fuck you. For doing so much damage to my Espeon, my poor Espeon. So I just start spamming Psychic here. That's pretty much all I can do. I could probably try to set up Calm Mind, but I didn't bring Morning Sun on this thing, unfortunately. But I do get the Spadef drop here, but since he Scalded, it didn't matter either way, because I would have been able to kill him from that range. I decided not to sack my Suicune, or my Espeon here. He gets the crit Stone Edge, which, like I said, I calced to make sure that I could live 2 crit Stone Edges. I get this Scald off, and what's sad about this is I don't get the kill for this Terrakion here. I don't get the kill for this Terrakion because we tank the Stone Edges, obviously. But thanks to pressure, he's out of Stone Edges. We don't get the kill on it because the Rocky Helmet isn't what killed him. He was just out of range of Rocky Helmet, and he dies to his struggle recoil, which does not award kill to my Suicune, which sucks. It makes me sad. I really wanted Suicune to get the kill here because I feel like Suicune earned it, but it's fine. It's totally fine. I'm not salty. It's okay. I promise it's okay. But anyway, yeah, we're going to be able to pick up a 3-0 victory over the Vegas Golden Komalas, and that was a fantastic game. KingKomala 13, thank you very much for a good matchup. That was a fun time. Next week, I actually have no idea how we play next week, to be completely honest with you. I haven't looked at the schedule, and it hasn't been updated yet, like with our match, so I actually genuinely don't know who will we play next week. Let's find out together live and in person. I would be able to tell you live and in person, but the way the website works on mobile is not great. It is not designed for mobile usage. Let's see, who do we play against? The Chennai Chandelures. Coached by TRT77, who does have a YouTube channel, so I'll be linking that in the description next week as well. But yeah, that's cool. Looking forward to that one. It's gonna be a fun time. But yeah, until next time. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. And with that, I'm PokePrimer, signing off. Peace.